Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm sorry I was on mute. We're gonna give everybody just a few minutes to get themselves together, get on the call. So probably start around 10:03, 10:04, 10:05, something like that. Hang tight.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Happy Monday, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
Anybody have any good wins they want to share before we get started? While we're waiting for everybody.
I do. I had this is Jeff. I had a deal fall through with a young couple I've been working with since September. So then I spent the last couple of weeks just running crazy with them and got them under contract on a new construction. So they are. I have to enter a new deal.
Nice, good problem to have.
And
Jeff,
now
you
I'm
can't be
getting
the only
rain
one.
going.
Who else? Ciela was on vacation, so I know she was chilling last week. Deanne, how about you? Did you have a good week?
I worked with Sam last week.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, we got a deal under contract.
Very cool. I love that. I'm just gonna give it like 2 more minutes, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, so I got a good win, guys. So just so we all know, stay in contact with your people or just do good with them at the very beginning forever, and they'll be your clients for life. I have a client 2 or 3 years ago. I bought them, helped them buy I don't know, like a $20,000 piece of property around the area, and they called me last week over the week. Hey, because they originally were building and looking for more property. We were looking to build a house. And then they changed their mind. They kind of went MIA and just been working and said, hey, we're staying where we're at. They called me Thursday and say, hey, I have a house I want to go look at. Can we look at it? I got pre-approved. Go look at it. It's an $800,000 and a $700,000 house that they want to go buy. That was off of an old land deal that I had, right? It came through originally through Ojo Pro Plus many years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. It turned into a $700,000 or a $650,000 home that they ended up going to buy. So just stay in contact and do good with your clients, and they will return the favor for you in the future. I needed them today, like I needed them next year and the prior year, right? So we're just always building our pipeline forever. It's never a short-term game in this world. For you guys that are new to this, and the ones that are old, they realize, those repeat clients are great when they come back.
I love that. Nice work. Sorry, you guys are gonna see the top of my car here. I'm jumping in the car heading to Point Siena, which is about an hour and a half for me. So I got all day to talk. Let's go ahead and get started here. Dana, I'm gonna let you run through the numbers first. If you could share some of the highlights. I saw your lead list or the call rotation stuff that you sent, the numbers. But
Okay.
can you unpack that? Is that a 7-day total or is that 30-day?
That's a 7-day.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'll have Dana email it to everybody so they can see kind of where their numbers are. But I talked about this with the Lake Nona team.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things that we need to watch out for are, number one, our answer rate. We need to make sure that we're picking up at least half the calls, if not 65% of the calls. I know it's tough to do if we're out showing or whatever the case may be,
Mm-hmm.
but give us some of the wins here. Who's got some good answer rates?
Let me see. All right, so really good for pickups here. Derek, if he's on the call, has a really good rate, and he's picked up at least half of them. You want to keep your rates at least 35. I mean, 40 is ideal and up. So you really want to keep your rates good with that.
Is there
Sharon,
anybody
if
under?
Sharon's on here, if she's on here, she's got the one of the highest rate. Vincent, Taisha, they got hundreds. They're at hundreds, which is really awesome. Melania, because it's even. It's pretty even with their call attempts. Like 3 calls will come in, they'll pick up 3. 5 calls will come in, they'll pick up 4. So it keeps, and then their connections are like right there, 1, 2, 3. So that's how your rates, your pickup rates are really going to stay high and consistent.
Okay. And anybody
Let me see who's
below
on the phone.
20%
Yes.
that's on this call?
Let me see who else is on the call. Okay. I don't think David's on here. David, Pam Carter. She's on here.
Okay.
Let me see. Sean's below 20. Pamela Pagan. And let's see. Ingrid, Sarah, Joseph, and Cheyenne. Everybody else is all above. All above
Okay.
in the 20s.
All
Yep.
right. So the reason why this is important, I covered this with like Nona team. The reason why answer rate is important and a couple other metrics is that we need to improve what's called our predictability score, meaning we need to get as many leads as possible and we need to move them through the process and through that funnel, right? That stage funnel, whether it's attempt to contact, then we move into, met customer, showing homes, so on and so forth. So the reason why each individual stage is important is because let's just say Jeffrey gets a lead, right? And he moves him through the process. Well, this happens now 3 or 4 times. His predictability score goes up because the software is reading, okay, Jeff is moving people through the process, right? He's taking them from attempted call. Now he's moving them through showing homes. And now we have 10 people showing homes. Well, we know that eventually probably 3 or 4 out of those 10 are going to lead to a contract. So that AI is predicting the business. So we really want to increase all of our metrics so that, and this is the number one reason, so that we can eventually start to pick and choose the zip codes that we want to work in. Because if we're considered what's called a higher ranking agent, right? A high ranking agent, excuse me. If we're considered a high ranking agent, meaning we're answering our calls, we're moving people through the stage, we're doing our ZHL stuff, and that system labels us a high ranking agent, then we get to go and we can pick our zip codes, right? So if I live in a zip code that has $1 million homes, well, because I'm a high ranking agent, it will prioritize those calls going to those higher ranking agents. If you're considered fair or low, you're going to get the leftovers of whatever our territory is, meaning like Alberto. So if Alberto is a low or fair ranking agent and he lives in Lake Nona, which the average price point is like 550,000, well, he won't get those leads. He'll get routed for some of our other stuff that we have in those surrounding areas, right? So we all want to work better and higher quality leads. This is the way that we can do that, right? So if you can, Dana, just forward that over to everybody that's on this call today.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started about numbers. So Jeffrey, you were our first here in my little corner slot here. So tell me, what did last week look like for you? What were your numbers?
Last week was only about 20 calls, and 3 different clients running like crazy with those kids, especially. But I probably had 18 showings with those kids, and got them to new construction finally. And that was my last, like 5 models we went through with them, and got a really good deal from Lennar. So they're got like 26,000 off, and closing costs of 3.8 APR with a 5-year ARM under FHA. So they really had no closing costs of their own to come in with. They just had to give some down payment from which they were ready to do on their last deal. So they are set to go. The only problem is they don't close until June 8th. So that's in my closing bucket. But now I need to get back into my routine. So I only had 20 calls going out last week. And I did have a couple other clients I got to run around and show a few places with. But that was my biggest thing. I just went crazy with those kids, getting them back under contract. It's like once I get a fish on the hook, I don't want to let them go.
Of course, yeah,
Um,
you got to strike while the iron's hot.
Yep.
but it totally blew out my my routines or getting into a flow. So I'm getting back into that flow again today for paperwork and get some more calls going again.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, you had a good week. I mean, I like to get the contract. I know you're, if I remember correctly, you're part-time as well. So you're doing all this and you're part-time, or are you full-time now?
Part-time. I would love to be full-time. I have a closing this Wednesday that will help me in that direction. But I even put my other job on hold just to go run.
Okay. Well, I love the effort, Jeff. I know 20 calls is a little low for you because you're usually a high volume caller, but hey, you got your contract. You're ready to,
Mhm.
you're putting yourself in order for June. Now we just got to fill your bucket for April, May. All right. So I
Yeah.
love the way your thought process is. I try to do the same thing. I always tell everybody I live in the 90, meaning I want to make sure I can control my finances for the next 90 days.
Mhm.
And I have enough sales to support that. Right. So I want to make sure. Hey, all right. So April is a little light for me right now. I've got only 2 deals pending. So I know like I've got another week or so to maybe write a contract or two that can help me fill my April. I've got a new construction for May and June already on the books and July as well. So I know, hey, those are looking pretty good because they're higher price points,
Mhm.
but I still need to control my next 90 days. So I love that thought process. So good job. All right, moving on to Deanne. How was your week last week? I know you got your contract with Sam. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was a lot of teamwork. I was busy with them working on my out-of-state clients that arrived this week. Working with my doctor who I have planned this weekend. So it was a lot of phone calls, talking to realtors and things like that. I think I only had like 28 calls last week.
Okay. But you had lots of appointments, so you filled up your
A
week
lot
showing.
of appointments, yeah.
Okay.
So it was a full week and it was a good day and a half in the office. So it was a good week.
Okay, cool. So you got some catching up to do this week to get your calls back on track, I'm sure, right? And start getting your appointments built up. That's usually how it goes, right? That roller coaster ride where it's
Yeah.
like, hey, busy week showing this week, probably some paperwork and building your week for the following. So I love to hear that you're getting your contracts. How's your April looking? How many deals do you have pending?
So I have one bill that's pending in April. I think it's the 10th. And you'll have to check with Sam. I think that one's pending in April as well that we just put under contract last week. So
Okay. Do you think you can get 2 more for April?
I wish. I'm praying. I'm gonna work at it. We'll see.
I love it. All right, make it happen. Good job.
Thank you.
Cielo, how are you?
I'm refreshed, so watch out.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I needed
So
the
light
break.
week. Yeah, we all do sometimes, right? It's nice to have a little rest and repeat or rest and refresh. So light week for you last week. What is your priorities this week? What are you focusing on?
I have a lot of people that I met with before I left. And so I'm following up with their pre-approvals. I didn't see any action on stuff because I wasn't pushing people yesterday or last week. I mean, I was keeping an eye on it a little bit, but I have a couple of clients that need to get off their butts and get their pre-approvals. So I'm working on that and then showing them like doing both listing and showings. So kind of doing that right now. And then
Okay,
I have
let me
another.
ask you a question. 1 second. So on your pre-approvals, do you feel like the clients are dragging their feet because of rates or market, instability, or is it just truly like they're just, kind of maybe not in a super rush? What do you think it is?
You know what? I think that I don't know. I'll have to find out. I mean, I'm trying to get everybody that I can through the system, which I'm trying to get that through. But I think sometimes maybe it's the customer service. I don't know. Like it doesn't matter. Like I think it's just a matter of hand holding my clients through the process. That's what I see that works better. I can't just hand them off, be it through the Zillow or through my own clients. I think that it's more of a hand holding, and that works for me better. So I have one client that I'm very, very interested in that he didn't do, he hasn't gotten it. So yeah, I think it's that. We'll see what happens. I'll let you know next week what the holdup is on some of these guys.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. Keep going then.
No, and then I have a couple of investors that I have a couple of listings that I'm going to get under contract. Everything's a follow up on things that I put in the pressure cooker. So now I'm just opening the pressure cooker and starting to see like, hey, let's get it move on so that I'm going to try to get 2 listings before for March so that I can have a really strong March, because I had a really strong March. So I'm excited about that.
Okay. So what's your April looking like? How many do you have pending?
No, I have nothing. Like I burnt myself
Nothing,
out
okay.
in doing, I had like 5 closings this month, so it was very strong. And then I just got, I lost a week. So I need to really crank this week. So my April is going to look awesome. I just need to get back on making sure that I follow up on new leads, and also on my people that have been kind of slacking off, the people that are kind of like not pushing to get stuff done. So, and making calls
Okay.
and that. Yeah.
Do you think you can get 3 this month?
More than 3, please. At least 5.
More than 3. Okay. Sorry. All right. 5. You can repeat? 5?
Yeah. No, dude. My goal is always to try to get at least 2 under contract per weekend. Because if there's so many people, some of them fall through because of personal reasons or lack of approvals and
Right.
stuff. But that's kind of like what I'm pushing myself for. So I'm gonna do that for May, and they should be really strong because this is it. This is the big push.
This is prime season. The thaw has happened. You guys are thawed out and ready to go.
Yeah. So doing that. So kind of pushing both. And so right now, my whole attitude after getting, sleeping a lot drinking a lot last week, is just to take every call and make every call and just, make it happen.
Love it. All right. You brought up 2 points I wanted to chat through before I go to Alberto. So the 2 points are, number 1 is pushing people through the process. I'd love to hear that you're not just giving the lead or that client over to the lender and then letting them on a hope and a prayer, making sure that they do their job, right? We all think that the lenders, regardless of how great they are, they're busy too, right? So things fall through the cracks. So you want to make sure you're touching base after you send that client over, right? Hey, did they call you? Did you connect with them? Did you start to collect documents? What else do they owe you, right? And then you can overlap and follow up and go, hey, I spoke to Susie Q and she said that you owe her tax returns and you need this, you need that. When can we expect that over? I want to make sure I'm here to help you, right? Forward it to me and I'll send it over on your behalf, right? So you want to make sure that you're overlapping and you're being that extra voice or that extra line of communication to your client, or that liaison in between you and the client. So I love to hear that, number 1. Number 2 is investors, right? I want everyone to hear me loud and clearly on this. Investors are great because they buy multiple properties. However, they can also waste your time. So you have to be very careful with your investors, right? I don't want you guys showing 100 properties to an investor and then they're lowballing all over the place. If they are, they're going to waste your time and eventually you'll find yourself out of the market because you're not getting contracts. So you want to make sure, hey, investor, I'd love to work with you. Let's be realistic, right? Let's make sure we're sending offers that are realistic. And if not, it might be better to cut ties with that investor than have them running you all over, right? I want you to make sure you guys are not bird dogs for everybody, meaning you're not just out there trying to find them a deal, because you will definitely find yourself out of the market really quickly that way. So make sure you're cautious with your investors. If they're not really, writing decent offers and they're just $100,000 less than asking, and you're just right, it takes time to write offers and do all that stuff. So if it's not aligned with your move on to find somebody else, right? So don't be afraid to lose a client if they're just tire kickers. So thank you for bringing that up. That was a good point. All right.
Can I
Go
say
ahead.
something? So
Yeah,
one of the
please.
things Sorry. So one of the things that I just wanted to say, and I think some realtors are more comfortable than others doing this, but I will show like I will show four properties. If four properties for investors or buyers is not hitting the mark for them, I sit them down and reevaluate what the strategy is. And then I will do a top of 8. And if at 8 you're not finding something, then you're not ready to buy. And so for me, I try to make sure that, kind of like presenting yourself as a professional, but also kind of talking to the clients on this, both for investors and for buyers, because you can find yourself. I think I had like 10 showings one time and they wanted to go see more. I'm like, no. I'm like, if you don't have a choice, you have enough of a choice with the ones that we've seen because we've been so strategic about it. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there because I think sometimes we get, and I do, like, I think you remember before I left, there was that low baller that I was like, I don't want to work with you. And they
Mhm.
wanted to work with me. And I was like, no. I'm like, either make decent offers or go somewhere else.
Right.
So just kind of wanted to put that out there. I know it's not for everybody. But if you have any questions on that, that's how, after 10 showings, if you don't buy, then I'm not your realtor. And they always buy.
Listen, I want to say, like, I understand we don't want to lose a client, right? We're always just so like, we want to help everybody and anybody and everybody, but sometimes we have to cut ties with clients because they're holding us back from our potential, right? So if I'm spending all my time writing offers, if I write 4 or 5 offers for an investor, that's probably 2 to 3 hours that I could spend making phone calls, finding a new client. That's probably going to give me more money anyway, right? So just be cautious. Just definitely be cautious. And if you need help kind of talking to a client, you need a second voice, get somebody like a Matt, Sam, a stronger agent. If you're newer, whatever, let us know and we'll work and kind of help navigate those conversations with you. So,
Yeah.
all right,
Thank you.
cool. Love it. Alberto, you're up.
Hello guys, good morning. Well, my last week wasn't good. I was low activity, honestly. I had a lot going on with the family. However, I reconnect with some of the leads that I've been nurturing through Follow Up Boss. One of them is Land buyer in St. Cloud. So I'm chatting with him as we speak right now. About that, I have another buyer that I reconnect on Kissimmee from the same database, right? Follow Up Boss. I'm not getting much Zillow calls. I had like 3 calls this weekend, but I really don't know how to pick them up, because when I pick them up and they start describing what the buyer is and I said accepted, somebody else accepted, right? So it looks like I have to be faster and no wait for the explanation. You just click one and that's it and get it. But I've been getting calls from Zillow. So as we speak this week, I have to double effort because I want at least 3 contracts for April. So I'm working on it.
Okay. Get with Dana. Dana will call you after the meeting to see, is it a coverage thing? Do we need to add zip codes to your bucket or whatever the case may be? So she'll double check. We'll get it fixed. And as far as like picking up leads, speed leads is obviously always important, but if 3 people pick up the call, sometimes it's just speed the lead, and you can't beat that sometimes. So it is what it is. So it's just a volume thing. So we'll get you there though. I love to hear that you're putting in the extra effort though from Follow Up Boss and the other sources. So I'm sure we'll be able to get your bucket full.
Yeah, that's the plan, because last week was a little low for me. Due to that, I had to go to Miami and do other stuff. But then this week I'm focused on getting there, start showing properties.
Love it.
And
Alrighty,
Alberto and everybody else, I'm sorry, Angel, it'll help
It's okay.
tremendously if you just start we're supposed to be updating weekly anyways for Zillow, but if you guys just start doing it, like hang up on the call and just update a lot of your clients, moving the stage if you can, but at least putting notes in there, it is gonna help a lot because it's gonna react to Zillow and they're gonna be able to see that, excuse me, that you are keeping in touch with your clients. So that is gonna help you score as well.
Cool. All right, Dana, I'm gonna need your help to pick on another agent because I can't see anybody else on here. Can you just call the next person for me?
Yep, there you go. I'm like, go ahead.
All right. Go
Who
me.
just said it? Jeffrey. Go ahead, Jeff. I mean, not Jeffrey. I was wait a minute. Who am I seeing?
Daniel.
Vincent. Oh, Dan. There you go, Dan.
Hey,
I was gonna say Vincent, but go ahead, Dan.
all right. My last week, I still have light leads in my database. That's on me. But I had roughly about 22 to 25 touches. That's a combination of texts and calls. I have about 3 customers, clients that I'm in pretty close contact with, and about another 3 that are in and out. They kind of poke when they see something interesting. I had 2 appointments, 2 buyer appointments last week, 2 showing appointments, and I got I have to double check my numbers, but I think I got 2 submitted over to Zillow last week as well. Again, I'm starting pretty slow. That's on me. That's on my side, my part. But it's picking up. I got a really good communication with my 3 or 4 buyers that I do communicate with regularly. They're kind of some are like in North Florida, and one guy's gonna buy something. I'm getting ready to. We have it narrowed down to about 2 properties right now, and I'm just thinking about how to structure both his offer. It's going to be contingent on the sale of his current home up in Pensacola, which is already listed. But luckily he's got a new build picked out, and I spoke with him already. They got some stuff that's probably going to line up better with his timeline than a traditional resale that he's looking at also.
Okay. Nice. So how are you going to structure the offer? How are you going to make that offer competitive? So what's the thought process on having somebody with a contingency? How are you going to help them win, knowing that they need to sell a house? Is it under contract?
No, it's not under contract. Just went
Okay.
live about 2 weeks ago. He's very confident it will sell in no time. He says, that's the feedback he got from his realtor. Who knows if his realtor is just hyping him up. But that's actually something I was going to follow up with you about after the call, because I think the only offer that we really have to try and sell his situation is the resale that he's looking at. As far as the builder goes, they're pretty much, we can pick a product that's about 20 to 40% completion, which puts him about 3 to 4 months out from closing with the new build. So that one's kind of easy to structure, I think. It's the resale that might be challenging.
So let's go back to that. So if I were you, I would, and you may have already done this, but I would contact the listing agent to see if it's priced competitively or not based on the comps, right? So, some agents are good at pricing properties and some are just, hey, I'll take anything I can get and I'm listening to the owner. So I would double check what kind of agent that is to see if it's really priced to sell before I go too far. And then also, as it relates to the contingency contracts for new construction, there's not a lot of builders that will take the contingency. So I know Lennar does now. That's a new one. Lennar's just starting to take those.
This is the Adam. I did speak with the sales rep. They just said if his property's listed but not under contract yet, they'll advise that he goes with like a home that's like at around 20% completion, puts him about 4 to 6 months out.
So we're looking at maybe like July, August, something like that.
No, for completion about, we'll say 5 months from now. So what was that? Put September, August, September, maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, I would definitely talk to the agent though. If you haven't there, I would start there, because if the average days on market there is like 120, I don't know what that market looks like, but not all markets are created the same. So I would definitely check with him, because fast in some markets could be 90 days, right? So we don't really know. And then from there, you could always write offers on the resale where they have like a kick-out clause. You can get with Matt on those. He's kind of an expert when it comes to the writing the kick-out clause, which is basically they can give them the first right of refusal if they get another offer over asking or over their offer or something like that. So I would talk to him about that and see if that's an option. But your hands are kind of tied really with those kind of clients, because there's not a lot of listing agents that are going to take that contract, because it's really tough, right? Where we're just accepting a contract on a hope and a prayer. So
Right.
I would be cautious on that one.
This one, the one resale he's looking at, is almost a year on market. It's like 352 days. So I'm wondering if, if at this point they might, there's a little bit more motivation that they'll entertain something like that. But I agree. I definitely would rather, kind of lay out the benefits of him going with the new build for this particular client.
Yeah, for sure. So you're building the pipeline though. Sounds like you got a good pipeline getting built. So that's the good news there. So you just got to keep it on. That's all. So it sounds like you're off to a good start. Let me see here if I can find the calls. Looks like you had 5 calls. You got 3 of them. So the answer rate's really good. So we just got to keep filling the bucket. That's it for you. You're good.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Keep it up. All right. Who's next, Dana?
Vincent,
Vincent. How was your week, sir?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I closed the house this week. That's good. I have some equipment set.
We'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, so it's funny. A funny thing. I had a buyer, who early this month stiffed me on the house. I put them under contract for a house. They told me to cancel, try to backdoor me to do a whole new deal with the seller, but keep me out of it. But long story short, that whole deal fell through horribly. I get a call from that same buyer. Hey, I would like for you to help me with another house. I said, what? Are you crazy? I mean, in my head, I was like, are you crazy? But I talked to him. I said, what happened? He said, it went through, la, 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 la. Long story short, I told him, listen, I would love to re-help you again, but I need 5% commission for anything. So I left it like that with him. But I have a couple of showings this week that I'm doing. So I'm hoping to get somebody on the contract this week.
Okay. Well, your answer rate's great. You're 3 for 4, it looks like. So you got 4 leads on 3 calls. So you must have picked up a real-time touring call or something like that. So that's good. As it relates to the buyer, let's go back to that. So what Vince is talking about is he had a buyer brokerage agreement with a client. So he had his EBBA for 3%, got the client under contract, and immediately this client started to negotiate repairs and everything like that before inspections. Well, they ended up canceling the deal and then circumvented the buyer agent, Vincent, spoke to the listing agent, and got themselves back under contract without Vincent in place. Right. So his options at that point were pretty limited. And, shame on the listing agent, which I would have reported him to the DBPR for that, by the way. And so shame on the listing agent, but the client the contract and got back in touch with Vincent. So, are you going to get 5% from that client? I don't know. Would I work with him again? Very cautiously, I would work with them. But I would write a really strong offer where it says, any additional terms or something like that. If buyer cancels, they're on the hook for X amount of dollars, whatever the case may be. I would really try to make it stick. So the point is, just be cautious with your buyers. Just because you have an EBBA with them doesn't mean that you can give them poor customer service or ignore them and just hope that you get the deal. Like, you really got to work with the client because they can cancel those. And good luck trying to make that stick somewhere. So make sure you're doing your part to be a good agent for them. So Vincent, you just keep plugging away, make your calls, get more little leads, and you'll be back to where you need to be. All right, Dana, who's next?
Sarah.
Sarah, how's it going?
Hi. It's going okay. I spoke with you at the in-person meeting, kind of about like the personal stuff that I'm dealing with at the moment. But yeah, last week I did 16 calls in the lead pool. I still don't know what's going on with my Zillow calls. It's like I try to pick up and then it never connects, and then it like goes to the screen where it just says like it's having trouble connecting, or it says that someone else picked up. But yeah, Wednesday.
I don't know. It looks like on here you had 9 leads and got 1 of those. So could be a connection issue. I don't know.
Yeah, I was able to get 1, but the others, it's like I mean, it's literally, 9 times out of 10 that I try to answer it and it just doesn't, like something's going on with it.
Yeah.
And then the ones
It's
that I
usually your
get-
connection service where you're at in that time.
yeah, and the ones
Yep.
that I am like getting are mostly like vacant land or like the same vacant land, the same property I've had come up like 3 times now.
Yeah, Dana, I
short-term
didn't get the
rental.
chance to tell Dana about that. So Dana, can you check her Zillow, her routing to see if she's only in like the Groveland pool or whatever? Can you just check her zips to make sure she's getting the
Yeah, let me
the
check
rest of
right
the
now. I
territories?
think she's
Okay.
Can I ask her, hey Sarah, how many bars do you have on your phone when you're getting the calls?
Well, right now,
Cielo,
I'm
you know
on
we've been through this.
Wi-Fi, but I
Oh, right,
still
that's-
have.
I'm sorry, Sarah, what'd you say?
I'm on Wi-Fi, but I still have 4 bars.
4 bars when you're taking
Yeah.
when the calls are coming in?
Yeah, I typically have like 4 bars around my house at all times.
And then is the app, how many devices do you have your app on?
Just one, just my phone.
Just your phone?
Yeah.
For Zillow?
Yeah.
Okay, not on your computer?
No, I don't have the app on my computer. I just have it. I just have Follow Up Boss.
So the only thing I can tell you that kind of helped me was I actually have an antenna specifically for my phone to get calls. And you have to, I think I sent the link and I can put the link again, or I think you have the link, right, Angel? But you buy it on Amazon and you literally, think of like the old, well, I don't know how old you are, but in the old times you had a TV for your phone that you had to put it on
It's
your
like a
phone.
booster of some sort,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's a booster. And so if you put a booster and you have the antenna facing wherever your power is, you should be able to be picking up a lot of calls. I mean, it's a little bit, it's a kind of a weird thing, but it's a hack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
it's helped
definitely
her.
look into that.
It's helped her a lot. And Sarah, I have you for Davenport and Orange County. That was all that you could service.
Huh.
Can you do Osceola? Like, cause you're over
Yeah.
that area,
Yeah,
correct?
I can do anywhere that's like within an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Okay,
put her in
so Osceola,
Osceola
Seminole,
and
what is
Seminole.
that?
Yeah.
Seminole. Okay.
Mhm.
I'll add you to that now and we can see if that should definitely open up some more opportunities.
Okay, yeah.
While you're at it, Dana, since you have it open, just check everybody that's on the call.
Okay.
Like Alberto, make sure he's in those groups as well, and Vincent and all that. So let's open up their territories and flood the leads. But you guys got to answer the call, so don't be asking for leads and be missing calls.
Actually, now that it's a different setup with Zillow, I apologize, but it's not as easy to just add them. It's like they don't want you to have more than 20 zip codes. So try to everybody like especially you starting now, Sarah, go ahead and take out like or at least make your low ones like the ones that you have in there for low priority. Cause that's what's kind of having some issues. It's not as easy with Zillow anymore to just like add more on our end. So you'll have to like make a lot of yours low priority and then it should hopefully let me add more areas for you. It's a new
Okay.
thing with Zillow now. Yep. They're only allowing certain amount of zip codes because they're not seeing agents working like really pushing them through. So that's nothing on our end. But I'll get with you after as well to try to
Okay, yeah.
figure it out.
Is that through the app, Dana, that we can choose our lower priority zip codes?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
You know, is that okay? I'll find it. Thank you.
So
Yeah,
you go
and set
through
them up high and
my
low.
profile. You go through my profile, and then it's under zip code preferences or zip preferences, something like that. And it's going to ask you to log back in to do that. So make sure you have your Zillow password handy to log yourself back in. So that's how you do it. All right, we're moving on to the next folks. So Sarah, get with Dana. We should be good to go. Justice, how are you?
Hello. So, last week was my first week really hitting the pavement with the Zillow calls and getting my leads. I had my first hiccup. It was a blessing and a curse all in one, but I got my first lead on Tuesday that turned into a contract the next morning. But then my DocuSign froze up and I wasn't able to access my rooms. I mean, I spent probably a good 4 to 6 hours online with DocuSign Tech. I went back and forth with KW Tech. It took like 36 to 48 hours for them to finally come to the resolution of just deleting my KW email address. And now I have a temporary email address. But
Wow.
that did cause me to lose out on my first deal. The lady, she was not understanding. She was very, very, a little obnoxious. She was texting me every 20, 30 minutes with 5 or 10 question marks, just kind of being like, what's going on? And I kept updating her, telling her that my DocuSign wasn't working and that my next step was having someone at the office send over the paperwork. And she just wasn't understanding. And then she found out that I was a new agent, and she just altogether just didn't want to work with me no more. And so that was just very unfortunate. But since then, I have got my DocuSign working. I have been getting everything, just making sure everything's working. Yesterday or Saturday, I had an open house. I had door knocked right before I got to 12 houses. And I have 2, I'd say, warm leads from that. 2 people who were actually doing yard work and wanting to list their house and get into something bigger. So we conversated a little bit before the open house.
Love
Then
that.
yes, so that went really good. We actually connected really well, talked about their gardening and their green thumb because that's one of my strengths. And then Sunday, I went on to Land Voice, which is through Pro Coaching, which through Mabel, I have expired numbers. So I went and got 8 addresses from those, and I went and door knocked on 8 of those addresses.
Okay, and how'd that go?
It went good. I actually created, when I first started, I created some expired packets with some good information, like 20-page packets. And so I handed those to them. I didn't really feel like they were too warm of leads. Like all 8 of them actually, one of them didn't answer the door. 7 of them answered. But
That's pretty good.
yeah, no, I mean, it felt good. They didn't seem too friendly though. This was my first time going around to the expired door knocking, and I enjoyed it. I wasn't too nervous, but I definitely feel like I need to just go check back in and get like more of a better feel for them, because I wasn't able to really kind of tell from anyone where they were at and what they wanted to do. So, and I did add 12 people to my database.
I love it.
Yeah,
So
so
I want to
12
go
people
back to
through
the
work at
DocuSign
Cheesecake.
dot loop thing.
Yeah.
I want to go back to that. So if you, and this goes for everybody, if you ever have any tech issues and you can't write a contract and you're in need, just pick up the phone, call me, Sam, Caitlin, Matt. One of us will write the contract for you. So
Okay.
I don't want you guys to ever miss out from that. So don't hesitate. Just call us, text us. I mean,
I
obviously, if
learned
it's
my
midnight,
lesson.
like we might not answer, but
Yeah, no, I ended up calling.
yeah, we
I
don't
ended
want
up
you to miss
talking
out.
to
So
Caitlin.
okay, good.
Yeah, Caitlin tried helping me and
Good.
getting it over to her, but it was just, by then it was too late. She had already contacted the listing agent, and she was just, she was really not understanding at all. And when she found out that I was a newer agent, she kind of like ran with the train on that one.
Okay. Well, did you have an EVBA or just a Zillow touring agreement?
Just a Zillow touring agreement, because I was in the process of sending over the EVBA and the as-is contract.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's unfortunate, but hey, learning lesson. We'll work through it. You'll get you another one. So I love the optimism.
Exactly.
I love if you could share your expired packet, that might be helpful for folks. I love to hear you guys doing your own creative marketing and coming up with that stuff. So it's important that we stand out. Hey, listen, you're brave to go and knock on somebody's door and just strike up a conversation, whether outside, inside, whatever. I love to hear that. So hopefully that worked for you and you
It
start to
does. I
gain
feel
some
like
traction. But
I've done a couple cold calls, and I feel like when I'm on the phone, I get kind of that stuttery, shaky, like stumbling over my words. But when I'm in person, I feel like I'm so much better in control of my anxiety and what I'm able to say and what I want to come across as. So yeah.
That's awesome. Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you're going to
Melania.
have
Oh,
another
sorry, go
good
ahead.
week. Go ahead.
We are. It is. It's going to happen.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Good luck this week. Share the material with us so we can send it out to the group. Would love to. I'm sure somebody else piggyback off
I
that.
will.
And
Yeah, I'll create a
make it
Canva
your
link
own.
and I'll put it on the WhatsApp.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Have a great week. All right. Who's next, Dana?
Melania. Sorry about that.
All right, Melania, how are you? Hey, Melania doesn't want to talk. Go on to the next person,
Okay.
Dana.
Deanne, did you go? I can't remember right at the beginning when we were talking, if you actually went or if we were just talking. Deanne?
Yep, Deanne went.
Okay, what about Ricardo?
Nope, Ricardo's up.
That's it? And that's it? That's our last one.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So, I didn't have a busy week last week, but I made some calls. I wrote down here 56, but I think it was more like 60 some. Because I remember I did some calls on Saturday as well. I met with one client, but I believe I took 2 leads only for the week.
Okay.
I met with one. Hopefully they sent an offer this week. They said they were no, they really like the home, so we're hoping that works out.
Okay. So calls, you had a good amount of calls. Your appointments, you said you had 2?
Yes, only 2. Yes, it was pretty slow for me.
Okay. So 2. And then you got how many new leads?
I believe it's only 2. I'm just going back on my my what's it called? My CRM, and I only see 2 that I
Yeah,
spoke.
5
And one of them is
came
not
in and you
responsive.
picked up on 2. You got 2. Yep.
Yeah, 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, you just got to keep filling your bucket. That's all you need to do is you need high activity to get you some more appointments, right? That's important. And I want to make sure we're categorizing those appointments the right way. So when I'm talking about appointments, anybody that I'm meeting and I'm having a real estate conversation with face to face, I'm counting that as an appointment. So it's not just showings. If it's a
Oh,
listing
okay.
appointment, I had coffee with the client or something like that. Maybe I had a buyer consult. Like those are appointments at the end of the day. So make sure you guys are giving yourself credit. So for instance, I had 8 appointments last week, or 8 actual appointments with clients. It's with the client, buyer consult, listing appointment, with a builder, something, right? And that activity, I want to make sure you guys are giving yourself credit. So let's make sure you're counting the right stuff. And I'll give you my numbers, for example. So 8 appointments last week. I had 48 calls, and I got 2 warm leads last week, and I got 2 contracts. So a decent week, but it's all about the face-to-face appointments. That's what really moves the needle. So when you guys are making your phone calls, try to get face-to-face with them, because that's what really builds rapport. Like Justice was saying, is sometimes on the phone they can't read how our enthusiasm is. They can't see our expression. So that face-to-face time is really important. So make sure you guys are getting in front of your clients. But Ricardo, for you, it's just all about activity, right? So you're usually a high phone call agent. So just keep that up, and eventually I'm sure you'll get to where you need to be.
Yeah, I sent an offer on Friday, so hopefully I get back from the seller today or counter or something. Hopefully I go on the contract with that one. That's just basically it. Mhm.
Yeah. I noticed that. I don't know if you guys are feeling the same thing. I feel like listing agents are taking forever to get deals done. Right?
Yeah.
So how can we counter that, Ricardo? So if you put in an offer on Friday, it's Monday, you didn't get an answer that you wanted. How can you speed that up without bugging them
I'm
and
just
being
gonna let them
obnoxious?
know if I don't get an answer by certain time. We're just gonna go look something else.
Yeah, put an expiration on it, right? This
Yeah,
offer is good
and
till
as soon as I send an offer, with several times happened to me where they say, "Oh, we have multiple offers. Please, talk to your buyer to get the highest offer possible." As soon as I send an offer, I don't know if that's the way they work or it's actually really happening. Not sure.
it's hard to say, right? Some
Yeah.
agents play a lot of weird games. So I'll give you an example. I showed a house. It was $937,000, right? So you would think this agent would be like, I want to sell this damn thing, right? But is not responsive at all. I asked for seller docs, didn't respond. I asked, hey, can I get the average utility cost? One of the clients were asking me. I asked probably a dozen text message questions, and I've called him 3 times since Saturday at 11 o'clock, and he has not responded to my calls. So, unfortunately, sometimes you can only do what you can do. But when I put an offer in, you better believe I'm putting a timestamp. He's going to get 8 hours to give me a response, and that's it. right? So if we could ever get to this offer stage. So if you have to be persistent and call that agent, call them on the carpet. Like, hey, are you trying to get this thing sold? Right? Don't be afraid to call these agents on the carpet and be the professional that you are, because they should want to sell the house just as much as you do, but you need to make sure you're moving the needle with these agents. So what you got to do. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Really good call. Melania, I don't know if you can hear us or not, if you're having tech issues, but if you'd like to speak now before everyone holds your peace, let me know. All right. So,
I think she popped off.
okay. So if you guys have questions about where you're at with your zip code preferences and all that, check zip code preferences first. If they're not aligned with what you're whatever, but check those zip codes preferences first before you bog her down with calls. So get in there, let us know. And if Cielo, if you could share that link for the booster on Amazon, maybe throw it in the Fortified group chat, that might be helpful. Or if anybody else has it, I would appreciate it.
I will.
Quick
Thank
question
you.
about Redfin
All right.
leads.
Yeah, go for it.
Is that still in the works for some of us, some team members, or should we have already received something from them?
Still in the works. So what they did was they loaded agents into the, I guess you want to call it the system. And we probably a dozen or so agents in there for like 5 or 6 from Orlando, and then they paused because they put too many people in. They went issues with adding compass and all this other stuff. They put it on a hold for now. So it's to be continued. So we're still bugging them about trying to get us loaded in there. So I'm confident we'll get it at some point. We're just waiting for them to get us through the system. So Dana's followed up, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 times in the last 2 weeks. So we're trying.
All right. Thank
We're
you.
trying.
Yep.
I'm making
guys.
sure they
Yep,
don't forget
absolutely.
about us, which they won't.
Dana, maybe if we drop low,
We didn't hear
helpful.
any of that.
Oh, sorry. If we can see if we can replace some of the agents that are, whatever, if they're lower performing agents or whatever, ask them if they'll let us swap them out.
Yeah, I'll try that again too. I'll get with Amber today and see if we know if can get more of a timeline too.
Sounds good. All right. You guys have a great day. Good luck out there. Go sell something. See ya.
See you guys.
Bye
Thank you.
everyone. Have a good day.
You guys.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye.